I'm curious, how do you take the next step on a record-setting performance?
How do you take the next step?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's something that you judge by numbers. For instance, like when I had George and he set the NFL record for yards in a season. He hasn't, I think closest he's come to that is probably 200 yards. So that doesn't necessarily mean he hasn't had as good a years. I think with Johnny, really for him, the next step is just being more consistent or someone we can rely on a little more in the run game. And then just being better with the ball when he has it. As good as he was last year, he had left about 185 yards out on the field. So if we can just get every yard that we have available to us, that's what I'm going to be looking at.
What contributed to a slow start last year? Was it just familiarity with the
Yeah, just learning the system, getting comfortable with it. It's like I tell my guys all the time, I'm going to put you out there, but I'm never going to let you go out there and drown, so to speak. So um, this offense is very voluminous. There's a lot of stuff that we're asked to do in our room. Only the quarterbacks do more than we do. So it's a little bit of a process to kind of get the grasp of everything and all that. And I think about week 3, I think after the Seattle game, I think things kind of started clicking for him.
With Julian, obviously we know you're a big fan because of the strength, but how do we clean up some of the issues that he had last year?
Well, the issues, he led the league for tight ends and penalties. He had 9, but I think within the last 6 or 7 games he played fairly clean. A couple of those penalties was him trying to make stuff right formationally. Guys weren't lined up right, and so he's trying to move back to make it right. So that I can live with, but the holding and all that was just more of him just being over-aggressive. And so we've worked on some things here, and it's nothing I'm overly concerned about. And if it is, we'll put someone else in there.
With Julian and all the motion you guys do from that position and kind of the changing landmarks for his run blocking assignments, how long does it take for a guy to typically kind of get that stuff down? Like, do you expect a jump for a guy going from year 2 to year 3?
Yes. Again, just referring back to when I was in San Francisco in this offense, it wasn't until Kittle was almost all the way through year 2 before he felt comfortable with it. Part of the issue we also deal with too, him, coming from Campbell, a younger player, and then there's times we'll play teams and they play what we call unscouted looks. In other words, they're playing a defense or a front that they have never shown on tape. So it takes a lot of adjustments, some sideline stuff to kind of, change how we might be doing things, aiming points and all that. So now that he's gone through it 2 years and he should have seen most of the things that people have thrown at us, he'll be able to make those adjustments quicker.